Hello everyone, Climb the Grid here. So, this is round 2 of the GT7 Manufacturers Cup, and I made the mistake of not switching my tires before qualifying. I was on heavy wets, and it was a dry qualifying. So, I was very slow on pace. I made a mess up right here, and just gave the barrier a little love tap. And I still managed to get like a decent result, but it was definitely a very botched one at that. Like I could have gotten a much better result had I changed my tires, but I didn't. Me and this little Lambo kind of had a back and forth. I went off track, made a mistake. I'm trying to avoid the other guy. He's going in front of me, and then he's trying to dive bomb. Well, not dive bomb, but like overtake me in a qualifying session, and he taps me on the rear end, and I hit the wall. But that whole thing, like, never should have happened because we're in qualifying. We aren't racing just yet, but hey, you gotta deal with what you gotta deal with. So I qualified P12. So as you can see, I was in quite few little battles, and I managed to make up a bunch of positions, 4 positions from P12. So the race was going really well, but I wanted to get in the top 5, but that meant I had to push more. So push I did, but there was a next few entertaining minutes of this race against a Ferrari. I'm just gonna let you watch without my voiceover. So yeah, as you can see, that I was tailing him for quite a bit, and we had a good back and forth. When I overtook him, I thought that I could hold it, and he went straight back in front of me. It was a really one-on-one kind of neck-to-neck fight, but when we got up to that final point where he made the mistake and I got to go through, that was where I could build my gap. My guess is he had a little more worn tires than me, but I myself wanted the pit because I was using wets, heavy wets. He was on the inters, I'm pretty sure, but the track is starting up to dry now, so I have no reason to use wets. It's only going to wear the tires more, and I'm going to just slow down because the car's starting to understeer, and I'm really not liking the feel of it. So I go in the pit, and I'm expecting, I'm prepared that he's going to continue and I'm going to have to catch up back to him. But apparently, no. P5, me, and then P7, we all pit. And I think P5 goes for, P5 goes for full wets. I go for inters. And surprisingly, P7, he goes for mediums, which I was surprised to see because the track's still a bit wet. But he's managed to keep up to me still. And he's using like my dry line, like the line that's behind your car when you're driving over a wet road. Like, he's following that, and he's not really getting like a slidey feel, which is probably why he's able to get really close to me so much. But the one thing I have the advantage with is I can pretty much drive like anywhere across the track without having to significantly worry about spinning out. As for him, he has to take into consideration where he brakes and where he drives because his tires are slicks. So we're down to the final straight with 8 laps left to go, and I'm trying to catch up to P5, who is about 10-ish seconds away from me. But I really had to take in consideration that Ferrari behind me, since he's on mediums and the track's getting a little more dry, like it's spitting out, but the track isn't really getting super wet. He's using like my dry line and following me, so I take that in consideration. Now P5, I managed to get into P5 because someone else leaves, but after that I still have someone to chase down who's now in P4. But what happens next is, well, he makes a mistake and I get my position. And now I just got to maintain this position. So yeah, you can see I made a mistake on the exit of that turn, which resulted in me almost kind of spinning out, and I lost not 1 but 2 positions. I didn't quite manage to get back up. I decided to pit to get new tires because my tires were completely worn, and lost another position. That whole entire strategy really messed me up this race. I tried to over push the tires for the next few laps trying to catch up, which made it so I couldn't really catch up at all. I should have switched my tires earlier, but I didn't, and I guess that costed me from getting a few extra positions. But overall, I really liked that race. I started P12. I contended for like top 5 and was decently close to podium, and I still ended 4 positions, well no, 5 positions ahead of where I started from, and I got a really good battles, really good race, and I just really liked it. So with my next 2 rounds of the Manufacturers Cup, well, my last 2 for round 3 and round 4, those are going to be in the same video because those races weren't really well. Round 5, I highly recommend you guys watch when I bring it out because it is my favorite race I've ever done. It's just great. But on another note, goodbye everyone. Thank you for watching, and God bless. I'll see you next time.